commissioners. District 1 has left a statement that he is going to be late and will be arriving later in the meeting. District 2 is currently vacant. District 3 is me, and I am present. District 4, Commissioner Utinko.
Present.
District 5 is vacant. District 6, Commissioner Somawar.
I'm here, present.
District 7, Commissioner Sriram.
Present.
District 8, Commissioner Escobar.
Present.
District 9, Commissioner Singh. Moving on, District 10, Commissioner Lee.
Present.
Citywide Commissioner, Commissioner Ghosh.
Present.
All right, then we will be moving on to our land acknowledgement. We would like to take a moment to recognize that while we gather at the city of San Jose, we are gathered at the ethno-historic tribal territory of the Thamian Ohlone speaking tribal groups, some of whom were direct ancestors to the lineages in the Muwekma Ohlone tribe. The present-day Muwekma Ohlone tribe is comprised of all the known surviving American Indian lineages aboriginal to the San Francisco Bay region, who trace their ancestry through the missions Dolores, Santa Clara, and San Jose. We, the San Jose Youth Commission, recognize the importance of this land to the indigenous Muwekma Ohlone people of this region. We also recognize that the ancestors of the Muwekma Ohlone constructed and maintained the 3 Bay Area missions. We pause for this land acknowledgement as a way of showing respect and countering the narratives and practices that erase indigenous people's histories and cultures, and towards inviting and honoring the truth. Moving on to item 2, which is public record. I do not believe that we have any correspondence from any member of the public. So we will be moving on to item 3, which is open forum. At this time, if there are any attendees who would like to raise their hand and speak for 2 minutes, you may do so now. I will pause for 10 seconds. I believe that is time. We are going to be moving on to consent calendar. The items under consent calendar are going to be broken up today. So at this time, is there any motion on the table to move items C and item D from consent calendar to the discussion and action items under item 5?
Commissioner Ghosh, I motion to move the items C and D to the discussion items.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Aye, Commissioner Somawar, second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Then both items C and D will be moved over into discussion/action items. As for the rest of the consent calendar, are there any motions to approve the remaining items under consent calendar, which are item A, approve November 22nd, 2021 and January 31st, 2022 meeting minutes, as well as approving the November 22nd, 2021 and January 31st attendance record?
I, Commissioner Utinko, make a motion to approve the January 31st and November 22nd meeting minutes and attendance record.
Are there any seconds?
Commissioner Lee, second that motion.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Then we'll be moving on to item 5, which is discussion/action items. First, to address the 2 items, items C and items D, previously moved from consent calendar to the discussion action items, we are going to be going over the memorandum format in detail to avoid any future misconceptions about it. In the header of the memorandum format, 2 is going to be honorable mayor and city council. From is going to be from the authors of the memorandum. The subject typically is 4 lines and the date is the date the memorandum was written. Afterwards, we have information and the subject line being the title of your policy proposal, letter, or other such documentation. Then we have the recommendation, which is your policy proposal recommendation. Then we have the background, which is basically a way to say, if you had 2 minutes in front of City Council, how would you word your case for your policy proposal? Afterwards, we have analysis, which is the research and the statistic backing for your policy proposal. Your conclusion, which is typically 2 to 4 lines. In the footer of your policy proposal in memorandum format is going to be all the sources that you used in bit.ly link format in order to increase accessibility to the public. For citations, every statistic that you cite is going to be in superscript so that in the footer you are able to access these numbers according to how the sources appear in your policy memorandum. And finally, at the end for the signature, every city board and city commission has the chairperson signing the end of the memorandum. However, we are also going to be having the author, who has to be a commissioner, also signing at the end of this memorandum. This will be applying to all memorandums. This does not extend, however, to YAC members, as this is a commissioner only thing. Afterwards, in the header of your policy memorandum or other memorandum, you're going to have the first line say, Honorable Mayor and City Council, the date, the subject of your memorandum, and the page number. So, are there currently any questions about the memorandum format? All right, then I will be assuming we are all in agreement. We are going to be going back to our actual discussion and action item by calling for a vote. All in favor of approving item C as previously listed in the consent calendar region, now in the discussion item, please, wait, sorry. Are there any motions to approve item C from the consent calendar region, now in the discussion/action item region?
Is there like a motion? Do we have to like I can hear my voice twice. But is there a way we can have a discussion on this before we vote?
Yes, since it is in discussion items, you can open the floor for discussion.
Okay. Yeah, so I see, I had a few comments on a few of these policy proposals, but I think it's best that we just go one at a time. So I read the Karen Act, and I think that it has a lot of potentially useful to make sure that like police calls are always done with a good intent. However, I'm concerned that this might limit people who are afraid for themselves, who actually need the police to make calls for in fear of like retribution or in fear that the police are not actually able to like catch the culprit. So what do you think about that as a potential problem with the Karen Act?
As previously discussed at meetings, as well as San Francisco's legislative aides, this policy does not put the caller of emergency systems at a disadvantage. If anything, this policy gives the person who is being called on a chance to say that they have been wrongfully harassed by the police. It is difficult to prove that a person has actually called the police on you because of their discriminatory tactics. By this definition, the policy in nature is not targeting people who are actually fearing for their safety. Those people are still going to be recognized as genuinely concerned citizens. This policy is simply opening the door for people to pursue legal action if they believe that they have been discriminated or harassed by the caller. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, we are going to be proceeding in order of city districts. So Commissioner Utinko, do you have a comment or question or discussion on any of the policies under item C?
I do not. Thank you, though.
Thank you. District 5 is vacant. District 6, do you have any remaining questions, comments, or discussion on item C?
Nope.
Thank you. District 7, Commissioner Sriram, do you have any remaining questions, comments, or discussions for item C?
No, thank you.
District 8, Commissioner Escobar, do you have any remaining questions, comments, or discussions on item
Y
C?
demuestra cómo,
No
cómo
comments.
la-
District 9 is currently not, oh, sorry. District 9 is now in attendance. Commissioner Singh, do you have any questions, comments, or discussions on item C?
No.
Commissioner Lee, District 10, do you have any questions, comments, or discussions for item C?
I do not.
Citywide Commissioner, Commissioner Ghosh, do you have any questions, comments, or discussions for item C?
I do not.
Great. As we have went through the list of commissioners, is there currently a motion on the table to approve item C?
I, Commissioner Sommer, make a motion to approve item C on the agenda.
Are there any seconds?
Commissioner Escobar, I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Please say nay. Any abstentions? Then item C unanimously passes, and we will be moving on to item D, which is approving the policy proposals from District 4. We are going to be adopting the strategy we just used to get all the comments out for discussion. So I am District 3, and I currently do not have any questions or comments for these previously approved policies. Commissioner Utinko is the author. So, and since District 5 is absent, Commissioner Somawar, District 6, do you have any comments or questions on item D?
I do not.
Commissioner Sriram, District 7, do you have any questions or comments? District 8, Commissioner Escobar, do you have any questions or comments?
I don't have any.
District 9, Commissioner Singh, do you have any questions or comments? District 10, Commissioner Lee, do you have any questions or comments?
None for me.
Citywide Commissioner, Commissioner Ghosh, do you have any questions or comments?
None for me.
All right, is there currently a motion on the table to pass item D? If there's no motion, will we be going back to discussion?
I, Commissioner Lee, make a motion to approve section D.
Great. Are there any seconds?
Commissioner Escobar, I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Then the items under item D have unanimously passed, and we will be moving on to discussion/action items. Item A, the District 3 and District 8 joint policy proposal regarding lowering the voting age to 16 in local elections. I'm going to assume that we have all read this policy, but for a brief summary, it is essentially stating that in local elections, such as the mayoral elections and city council member elections, 16-year-olds will be allowed to vote. The background and analysis for this is that that lowering the voting age to 16 actually helps foster civic engagement. And as a youth board that fosters civic engagements through policy proposals, I believe Commissioner Escobar and I believe that this is one way to do so. Additionally, by incorporating 16-year-olds who have reached mental maturity in order to vote, same as any adult, say 30 years of age, through incorporating these 16-year-olds, we are actually helping them stay engaged in the voting process. So, if there are any questions or discussions or comments, I open the floor to that discussion.
Yeah, so I had a question on regarding like the mental age of voting, and I recall you just like I think you said that there's like an equivalent mental capacity to like people who are aged at 30 years old. How did you find the study? Because I know like in the law there are many other ages that are cutoffs for certain things. For example, 18 and 21. But why should 16 be the age for voting and not the other things?
All right. So under analysis, you are going to find a superscript number that states that adolescent voters are actually at a state of mental maturity. But if the superscript number is not there, you will be able to find this source on Vote 16 USA, which has done an academic study showing that 16-year-olds are in fact of the same mental capacity as any 18-year-old or older adult. This is because 16 is the age where we typically reach the peak and the fullest extent of our reasoning capabilities. Does this answer your question?
It does.
Thank you. Are there any other questions? All right, if there's no further discussion, is there currently a motion on the floor to pass this policy proposal?
I, Commissioner Utinko, make a motion to approve the District 3 and 8 joint policy proposal.
I, Commissioner Ghosh, second that motion.
All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Then the District 3 and District 8 joint policy proposal successfully passes unanimously. Next, we are going to be discussing the food drive project proposal by Commissioner Utinko, and I will be giving it to Commissioner Utinko to present on this.
Thank you, Chair Wing. Sorry, oh my gosh. So in DFOIAC, we really pride on focusing on issues that our members are passionate about. And this year, it's been an initiative that they've wanted to start to create a food drive to help homeless individuals who are experiencing food insecurity. So DFOIAC is proposing a district-wide food drive that will assist in providing Martha's Kitchen, a local nonprofit soup kitchen, the resources to feed people. Are there any questions or comments on the floor?
Assuming there are no comments or further discussions at this time, is there a motion to approve this project proposal?
Commissioner Escobar, I move to approve.
Are there any seconds?
I, Commissioner Samowar, second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Then the District 4 project proposal for a food drive successfully passes unanimously. Next, we are going to be moving on to item 6, reports and information only. Is our presenter for item A, Council Liaison Report, currently present?
Yes, I am. Hi, good evening. I'm Mariela with Councilwoman Arenas' office. I have two announcements today. The first is that we hope that you'll join us for the next joint special meeting on child well-being. This is between the City of San Jose and the County of Santa Clara. It's currently scheduled for Friday, March 11th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. This meeting will be a follow-up from the previous joint meeting, which was held in November of last year, and will carry over discussion themes. Save the dates were sent out to our commissioners and are being shared with our public, and we hope that you can join us. And second, we wanted to invite you to the Kids Care Fair event, which will be taking place on Saturday, April 2nd, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Welch Park in District 8. It will feature a vaccination clinic, live music, free food, health resources, and games, including climbing walls for kids. It's all family-friendly fun, and we hope that you can join us. And that's all for me. Thank you.
Thank you. At this time, are there any questions? All right, I will proceed with mine then. Do you know how you came about the time from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m.? Because I believe that the majority of the commissioners here would be at school during that time.
Yeah, that's a good question. So the meeting, there are several elected officials and their calendars can be quite complex. And so that's where we landed on that time for this particular meeting. The meeting is a public meeting and it will be recorded. You can also send in public comments before the meeting. And so I'll make sure that you have all of the agenda details, and we'll certainly make considerations for the future of making sure that they're at a more accessible time. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you for presenting, Ms. Garcia. All right, do we have a PRNS report?
Yes, we do. I will be presenting just Martinez. I'm present right now. May I begin my presentation?
Yes.
Okay, great. Well, hello everyone. My name is Jason Martinez. I'm the intern staff specialist with the Recreation Division within Parks, Recreation, Neighborhood Services. I'm here today to share two updates from PRNS. The first is exciting news that PRNS is now hiring. We are seeking people interested in becoming recreation leaders for our community centers, parks, and communications team. And if we can hit the next slide, I believe one of our flyers should be there. There you go. And not only for recreation leaders, we also are hiring for lifeguards for our aquatics program. And with each flyer, as we see on screen, and as we're scrolling through, each flyer contains their respective main points of what we are looking for each flyer. However, they're not limited to the bullet points on there. So we encourage anyone and all interested to apply. And to each flyer also contains a QR code and written link that will take the viewer to the web page for more details if they're interested, and as well as the same page of where they can apply online. These flyers were distributed with the assistance with Commissioner Nicole. And the deadline to apply for these two positions is next Monday, would be March 7th at 11:59 p.m. And the other update from PRNS would be our communications team is currently working on a summer program video. And once it is completed, I asked if we may be able to share it with you all. Similarly, how I worked with Commissioner Nicole to help share our flyers, so we could help spread the word about our summer programs via your various social media outlets and other forms of getting the word out there. On behalf of PRNS, we would greatly appreciate this. The video may be completed in late April. However, the completion date will still remain tentative, and I will, as soon as I get the concrete timeline for that, I could go ahead and provide that. And with those two updates concluded, I would like to see if there was any questions that anyone might have. Okay, well, it doesn't seem anyone has questions. With that being said, I would like to thank you for your time and allowing me to speak tonight. And I greatly appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you for presenting. And as a friendly reminder for future, Commissioner Somawar, I think I saw you on mute.
No, I was just going to say thank you.
All right. As a friendly reminder for future presenters and other commissioners, we will be using commissioner last name format. Next, we will be moving on to the San Jose Library Report.
Hi, Commissioners. This is Lizzie. How are you? All right, I'm going to be sharing the library update. I have 4 updates for us all. The first is on Tuesday, February 8th, the San Jose City Council voted unanimously to support and approve the proposed equity, diversity, and inclusion quality standards, making these the first quality requirements for city offered programs to prioritize and assess efforts based on the impact of achieving the principles of equity, inclusion, diversity, and anti-racism. As part of the City of San Jose and the San Jose Public Library's commitment to equity, the standards ensure the quality of educational programming for its residents and provides a model for city departments that are intentionally help to identify areas of improvement, remove barriers to community access, and provide consistent guiding principles as well as clear requirements for assessment and reporting outcomes. Introduced to council by the library with the support of the Office of Race and Equity, the equity, diversity, and inclusion quality standards are comprised of 6 of the areas. The first being the anti-racist approach, inclusion, and the next being inclusive programming. The next is data collection and analysis, culturally relevant pedagogy, and the 5th being community involvement in programming. And the last one, outreach is key to inclusion. The library is super thankful for the support of the City Council and all the work done by library staff, especially Carla Alvarez, which you all remember from your retreat. Ms. Alvarez joined us. The library's managers of equity and inclusion who will be integral in centering the work, centering equity in our work. For more information on these quality standards, visit sjpl.org/equity. Next, on February 3rd, Career Online High School celebrated its 6th anniversary and cheered on 8 students who received their high school diploma and career certificate. We thank the San Jose Public Library Foundation for organizing and hosting this virtual event, all of our partners, including the California State Library and City Council. We are also grateful for the library's partners in reading staff, especially Ellen Lobel and Ms. Luen, for their work encouraging and motivating students through the program. To date, there are a total of 131 San Jose adults who have obtained an accredited high school diploma and are currently supporting 35 additional adults working to graduate. For more information about the Career Online High School program, you can visit sjpl.org/COHS. The next is the Urban Libraries Council, or the ULC, announced that the San Jose Public Library as a top innovator in education and adults category during the 2021 Innovation Celebration on January 28th for its Family, Friend, and Neighbor Caregiver Support Network. The annual Innovation Awards recognize transformative programs that address structural racism, bridge digital divide, provide lifelong learning opportunities, and meet the needs of an under-resourced population, and improve essential library services delivered from member libraries across the US and Canada. The library's FFN, or Family Friendly Neighbor program, supports local home-based caregivers of children between the ages of 0 and 8. Its launch in January 2021, the program has seen an 82% growth and has mentored over 150 caregivers and currently has an interest list of more than 300 people. And lastly, all the library branches will be closed for the Cesar Chavez holiday on Thursday, March 31st. The library will resume normally operating hours on Friday, April 1st. The library's online collection, e-library card registration, e-resources, and streaming services are always available at sjpl.org. Thank you all for the pleasure of speaking with you today. Let me know if you have any questions.
Commissioner Utenko.
Hello. First off, congratulations for the ULC recognition. And to segue into my question, in regards to the equity, diversity, and inclusivity standards, what approaches is the library taking to appeal that message to the youth? And in what ways do you think that the YACs could use that information to make a change in the San Jose community?
Thank you, Commissioner Utenko. That is quite a meaty question, and I love it. I think it's a great question, and I'm going to take a moment to kind of think through that. We'll talk about it as a Teenage Q team. Ms. Malloy and Ms. Harris and myself will have a chat. And then your second part of your question was about the YACs. I missed that part.
Right. So in regards to the standards, in what ways do you think the Youth Commission can encourage not only the YACs, but the youth of San Jose to really like embrace those standards and kind of put it forth in the way that the Library Commission intended it to do.
Okay, I will take on both those questions and get back to you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Are there currently any other questions? All right, then we will be moving to the Commission Chair report. So our budget memorandum is underway with Commissioner Ghosh. We're expecting to approve it officially in March because the memorandum has to go up in the library department and be approved and overlooked by a few other people first. As for our first in-person meeting, it is going to be scheduled for our April 2022 general meeting, as well as our May 2022 general meeting. If possible, and if things keep up the way that they are regarding the COVID-19 situation, we have the chance of having our end of the year event in person as well. As for the updated Youth Commission application, we worked in our training in order to update the Youth Commission application with the city clerk in February. Currently, we are considering creating a rubric for this application. So, as previously approved at one of our past meetings, I am opening up the floor to have a ad hoc on creating the rubric. This ad hoc can be joined by any commissioner who is interested in helping create the rubric for the San Jose Youth Commissioner vacancies that are going to be upcoming. Currently, we are going to have about 5 to 6 vacancies this year that will need to be filled next year. So we will be creating that rubric in April. If any commissioners are interested in joining me and Commissioner Escobar in creating this rubric, please reach out and email us directly via your city email. And that concludes the chair report. Are there any questions? All right, seeing as there are no further questions, we will be moving on to the commissioners' reports per district. Currently, District 1, Commissioner Chen is not present. District 2 is vacant. I will be giving my report. The District 3 Youth Advisory Council is going to be hosting our policy-thon at our upcoming YAC meeting in May. We are going to be distributing this annual youth survey in conjunction with the San Jose Library Department. And last year they got over 1,000 responses. So the District 3 Youth Advisory Council is hoping that we will have the same auspicious results. District 4, Commissioner Utinko.
Hello. So currently District 4 is working on developing AIM, Advise, Inspire, and Motivate, which is a conference that hopes to inspire youth in San Jose to pursue careers in the Silicon Valley. Currently, the event is scheduled to be in late March, and we're still gathering speakers, but I highly encourage you guys to come once we have a date. And we are also working on our newly approved food drive. As of that, there's no other updates for District 4.
Thank you. District 5 is currently vacant. So District 6, Commissioner Somawar, do you have any updates? I believe that Commissioner Somawar may have been logged off of the meeting. So District 7, Commissioner Sri Ram, do you have any updates?
We're just continuing to have our meetings, and we're also communicating with schools in the district regarding safe spaces so that we can do more regarding mental health for the youth in our district.
Thank you. District 8, Commissioner Escobar, do you have any updates?
Yes, in District 8, we raise awareness for Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month and work with the council office and collaborate with EPHS Girl Up, one of the clubs, one of the school clubs at Evergreen, to not only accept like the recognition of Teen Dating Violence Awareness Month, but also let more community members know about the issue and just like let people be more informed and start this conversation.
Thank you. District 9, Commissioner Singh, do you have any updates?
Excuse me. So we're not doing anything major right now, but what we're putting together a policy mostly focused on the digital divide. And we are also expanding and like creating new, I guess you could call it like marketing maybe to join our YAC and like reaching out to the schools in our district. But yeah, that's it.
Thank you. District 10, Commissioner Lee, do you have any updates?
The District 10 isn't working on all too much right now, but we are currently developing our education policy proposal. So we are trying to get in touch with the San Jose Unified School District and trying to schedule an appointment with them so that they can do a speaking event with us. So when we get a date with them and when we secure that, then we will let you all know and hopefully you can join us.
Thank you. Citywide Commissioner, Commissioner Ghosh, do you have any updates?
Our major update is that the budget memorandum has been finalized as a first draft on behalf of the commission. However, it's still going to be reviewed by many other people in the library department and maybe even people from other departments who would like to help out. So that's going to be approved at the March 28th meeting. Additionally, we have a youth town hall on March 14th for the environment. We currently have a few speakers lined up, but our main priority in regards to citywide events will be focusing on getting those town halls running, as well as approving that budget memorandum.
Thank you. As that is our last agenda item, we are going to be moving on to items for future commission meetings. So at this time, I'm going to run through all the districts currently present. District 3 does not currently have any new items at this time for future commission meetings. District 4, Commissioner Utinko.
I do not have any.
District 5 is vacant. District 6, Commissioner Somawar is still not in attendance. District 7, Commissioner Sriram.
No, I don't have any.
Okay, District 8, Commissioner Escobar.
I don't have anything.
District 9, Commissioner Singh is not currently present. District 10, Commissioner Lee.
Nothing for me.
Aside from the budget memorandum, Commissioner Ghosh, do you have any other agenda items?
We probably will have a couple of items such as like a flyer or a registration link that will be needing to be approved in advance solely so that we can get that sent out. So chances are we will have to approve those at the upcoming training. So I just want to make sure that that's okay with everyone.
Mr. Sana, do you know if we have enough time to add the flyers to the upcoming training agenda? I believe a majority of that training is going to be for the Mayor's Gang Prevention Task Force.
Yeah, I would anticipate that that item for the training agenda to take up most of the time.
Great. All right, then we will be adding that to our training agenda so we can get our town halls up and running. I see that Commissioner Chen is currently present. Do you have any future items for the next commission meeting agendas?
Yeah, hi. So for the next meeting, I'm aiming to finish one policy proposal, maybe two, but that's optimistic. So just one policy proposal for now.
All right. And for a recap of the discussion about the exact formatting of each policy proposal, I am going to be running through the entire thing once again to make sure that everything is crystal clear about how we're going to format it. So the to section is to the Honorable Mayor and City Council. The subject is your policy name. From is from all the authors. You can name your YAC as the author as long as you spell out Youth Advisory Council. You can name yourself as the author by saying Commissioner Chen. You can name any member of the public that has helped or like written your policy proposal in any way. Then you have the date, information, and the subject being the policy proposal title. You have a sentence or two about the purpose of the memorandum. You have your recommendation or actual policy. You have your background, which is how you would state your case if the city council were in front of you at the moment, typically 2 paragraphs. You have your analysis, which is the statistical backing for all of your policy claims. In the footer, you are going to be putting the links for your sources in bit.ly format in order to increase accessibility, and you're going to be annotating them with the same superscript that corresponds with those sources in the analysis section. Then you're going to place a conclusion, which is typically 2 to 4 sentences long. In the header, you're going to have Honorable Mayor and City Council for the first line, the date the memorandum was written for the second line, the subject in bold and the name of your policy proposal, and the page number. And finally, at the end, you are going to have your signature as the author, as well as my signature as the commission chairperson. This is because all memorandums from all city boards have the chairperson sign off on their memorandums. We are including the commissioner who actually authored this in order to show credit, basically, since you are the author. And then we have the 4 questions. Please contact Elizabeth Nolan section at the end. And again, the footer, which is where all of our sources are going to be going with the corresponding superscripts. Is everything clear? All right, assuming that there are no questions, the time is now 7:14, and we are going to be moving on to our last agenda item, which is adjournment. So are there any motions on the floor to adjourn this meeting?
Commissioner Escobar, I motion to adjourn.
Are there any seconds?
Commissioner Chen, I second.
All in favor, please say aye.
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 Any opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? Then the motion to adjourn this meeting at 7:14 p.m. February 28th, 2022 has unanimously passed. The next regular meeting of the Youth Commission will be on Monday, March 28th, 2022 via Zoom webinar at 6:30 p.m. And for your information, after that, for our April general meeting, we will be going back in person into council chambers. So please prepare for that, and please make sure your vaccination statuses are all up to date. Thank you.